Here at Fireside Stoves, we've talked a bit about the business, and we're here with Paul, and we're going to take a look at a couple of the stoves here. I want to start with this one. This is the Napoleon 1450. Paul, tell me a little bit about this stove here.
The 1450 is it's an affordable Napoleon stove. It was built to go head-to-head with some of the box stores, but still retaining the Napoleon quality. It's a no-frill stove. You can get a blower for it, but what you see is what you get. No fancy gold overlays or anything else. It just was built for heat.
And what kind of heat does a stove like this produce?
This will do about 2,000 square feet. It has a capability of heating about 2,000 square feet, depending upon the age of the structure and the insulation values. 9 times out of 10, you have the window open. It'll keep you warm. Now,
you're saying that this one is an economy stove, nothing fancy. Now, behind me we have a fancier one, which is, we'll move these pine cones. This is the Osborne 1800. This is also a wood stove.
Yep.
And what would be something fancier about this stove than versus the Napoleon?
This one here, it heats, believe it or not, a smaller area for more money, but you have the bay glass on the front, which is a nice feature versus a flat door. You have the bay glass, so you see a little more of the flame. You can also get different features for this. The door, you can get a gold door, a pewter door. The trivet on top you can get in gold or pewter also. Yeah, it's just basically you have more cosmetic ranges.
And how much does this one run as opposed to the other one?
This one here lists for, I think it's about $1,800, somewhere in that vicinity. You know, which is pretty much on the average cost of a wood stove nowadays.
All right, now wood is not the only option here at Fireside Stoves. Over here we have an Enviro stove. This is a pellet stove.
Yep.
And of course you have a gold door, black door. This one's retailing, it says about $2,400.
Yes.
Now what does a pellet stove do versus a wood? You're using specific types of pellets for these?
Yeah, it's a wood pellet. The convenience behind the pellet is you're not tracking in bugs, logs, bark. You know, you pour a bag of pellets in and you don't have to tend to it for a good 8 hours, sometimes 24, depending upon how it's set.
Now with a wood stove, you could burn, like if you have something that you would normally shred, you can just put it in the wood stove and so forth. With a pellet stove, you want to use the wood pellets rather than the wood. And why can you explain why you'd use the pellets instead?
The pellet well, obviously it's just a byproduct of sawmills, compressed into a pellet form. You can't burn anything but wood pellets in these stoves. It's not advised that you burn papers in there or anything like that. Strictly wood pellet. The nice part of the pellet is when you put it on a particular setting, it maintains the same heat output until you change the setting, whereas a wood stove, it goes up and down. Depends upon how much wood you have in it.
So with a wood stove, you're burning, your heat rate and such depends on your feeding of the wood. The pellet stove feeds it steady.
Yes, yeah, you set it and you just walk away from it.
Now how much are you paying for a bag of pellets, let's say?
Pellets range anywhere from like $4.75 a bag to $7 a bag. Depends upon the grade, depends on where you're getting them.
What type of pellets do you carry here? Or what's the most popular pellet you have?
We sell a lot of softwood pellet. We carry Current Renewable, Spruce Point, and we just signed on with Vermont Wood Pellet, which looks to be probably our front runner for this season.
Now how much, in a heating season, how many bags of pellets would you expect to go through in a year?
That's a tough question. We tell people, if you're planning on doing not complete heating, but very supplemental heating with this, we tell them plan on 2 ton, which is about 100 bags. They base it on a bag a day throughout the heat season. You can't really define it. If you have a warm fall or an early spring, obviously you're going to burn less.
So you're talking anywhere from $250 to $750 depending on the grade of pellet you get.
Yeah.
As opposed to maybe a $3,000 pre-buy that you might get with your oil like I have.
Yes, yeah.
Now I notice you also have a couple of grills here. This Traeger grill. Now this is a pellet grill.
Pellet grill, yep.
Now does it smoke the meat as well with the pellets?
Yep. This is one of their lower end models. You have smoke, medium, high. burns. The pellets for these are a different pellet. It's a pure wood pellet. When I say pure wood, I mean like it's all apple wood or it's all maple, oak.
Specifically to smoke a particular flavor type.
Exactly. You can buy, there's various pellets. I think there's about 10 different woods to pick from. And obviously some grades of some woods enhance certain meats better than others.
Now, one other thing that you have here, you also have several coal stoves. Now, people don't think of coal stoves anymore, and we've looked at several brands. Let's look at this Lehigh brand over here. Now, on a coal stove, what are the people are thinking, well, that's really old school. What's the advantage of a coal stove?
Generally, it's the most heat per dollar.
So in terms of fuel, you're paying less for your fuel than anything else with a coal stove. You're getting more heat for the pound.
Yeah, like your pellet stove, you're getting about roughly 8,000 BTUs per pound, but with coal you're at about 15,000 BTUs per pound. It comes in a bagged form, it's washed, it's a little cleaner than the old days. This particular unit acts like a pellet stove. You pour it into the back and it feeds itself. There again, you can maintain your heat a little more consistently than with a hand-fired stove.
And those are the hand-fired ones over there?
Yeah. You know, you don't have to get into, there's one dial that sets it and you just walk away from it.
Now I noticed that there's a thing on the bottom. I presume that's where the coal dust goes?
Yes, that's for the ash.
Now on all three of the different types, one of the things that might turn off a person from getting coal or wood or a pellet stove is the cleanup. What kind of cleanup do you have to do with these types of stoves?
Well, a wood stove, you generally shovel the ash out, maybe once or twice a week. Pellet stove is a lot less ash. But pellet stoves produce the least amount of ash. Coal's a lot of ash. You do handle a lot of it. The bottom of that needs to be emptied once a day, generally speaking. Once in any 24 to 30 hour time frame, you need to empty the bucket out. And it does produce a lot of bulk ash. I mean, if you have a large tract of land and a hole, coal's fine, just dump it into the hole, fill it in.
I've heard in the old days you'd dig up lawns and you'd find a lot of coal ash there because people would just put it with their lawns. Yeah,
yep. Any one of the ashes, is fine. Coal, you do find it in there. I think that depends on who you talk to. Some people say it's good, others aren't so keen on it. So I really don't know.
So we have all these different types of stoves, and you can get them here at Fireside Stoves. And what's the address here again if people want to find you? 10
Mass Ave in Lunenburg.
And that Route 2A. Well, thank you very much. And again, here's some of your selections. Come on down and take a peek.